read all of you. So nice to make your acquaintance in person.
Nice to meet you. Meet you. All right. So tell us about your baby, Midnight, Texas.
Oh, my baby. Well, I feel like Midnight has two mommies. So
you can fight for us.
Yes, I know. I want that to be a book.
It's a good one, yeah.
But Midnight is based on the books by Charlene Harris, a book trilogy, and it's about a small town in rural Texas that happens to be where supernatural people of all types have come together to create this sort of community of family. These are characters that have not always been accepted in the outside world, who are running from secrets, running from painful pasts, running from awful families, both human and supernatural. And they found a home in Midnight, a place where they're accepted, a place where they belong despite their differences. And things come into their lives to threaten their peace. And so it's about home and family and community and crazy supernatural obstacles and creatures, and I describe it as everything I love in a blender. But it's Midnight.
So I am a native Texan, and my family is from a one-stoplight town. Like very creepy, don't want to talk to there at night. That's not about that life. So really excited about you all bringing this project to life. So I just wanted to know what aspects of the production did you all incorporate to kind of have that small town, get that small town feel to the set and to the project?
Well, you know, I don't know if anyone came to Albuquerque where we shot the show, but you know, one of the most exciting things about the show was recreating and creating that entire town on the back lot, really from scratch. It was modeled after a town, Las Vegas, New Mexico, where we actually shot the pilot. And seeing the town in that one street kind of come to life was one of the biggest thrills. I
Completely.
think, of making
We
this
made a
whole show.
town. I mean, that doesn't happen ever in my life.
And then also I would say, you know, casting this show, the way we feel so fortunate to have put this cast together. It was a hard and long process trying to find. It's a big cast, and it's a really very specific characters. But we feel really fortunate that when we kind of step back and look at our entire family of Midnighters, they're electric together.
Yeah.
They're dynamic.
They feel like a community.
They really love each other, and we fell in love with them too.
So what's the underlying message for the series that you would want to convey to our readers?
I mean, for me, the story boils down to this moment in the third book where Fiji stands at the end of Witchlight Road, looks at the community and says, oh my God, there's one of everyone here. And why can't we live in places like this where we all get along and we're together? And for me, there's something so beautiful about a story where all these diverse people have come together to have a community. They don't erase each other's differences, but they actually celebrate those differences and love those differences, and it makes them stronger as a collective. And so for me, that became this sort of metaphor that all the wild, crazy, supernatural villains that we have coming in, what I love is that moment where all the Midnighters come together. And I feel like that's kind of aspirational for me. I mean, like in this historical moment, that is aspirational to see in America where there's this group of people who are so different, who have each other's backs.
It kind of feels incredibly relevant right now.
Yeah. And hopeful. It can happen. If a were-tiger and a vampire can live together.
We're sort of in the middle of this superhero, supernatural craze. It feels like every single network, they all have it. How do you make yourself stand out?
I mean, I think Midnight is a world like no other. It's peculiar. It's funny. It's weird. It's unexpected. These creatures don't follow the same rules that we're familiar to, and I think that if people are willing to open their imagination and look, they'll find something that's very, like, original and a little bit of a gem in the middle of, like, West Texas.
I think the show also is hopefully romantic, and that was really one of the key ingredients of the characters' relationships in the books, but also how Monica really developed those relationships throughout the course of our first 10 episodes. It's a place it's a show that I think you want to fall in love with these people, and over the course of the 10 episodes, I think the audience will, in fact, fall in love with these characters.
So, which of the supernatural creatures would you want to be?
Fiji. Well, I feel like Fiji has some control. Like, she's worked at her magic. She considers it a science. It's a craft, and she works to control it. Manfred feels a little too vulnerable to his powers for me. And I really don't want to live forever, so I'm kind of like, the vampire thing is not for me. I'm like, I like an ending.
I'd love to be Joe Strong, the angel, just because of his fabulous hair.
You want to be Jason.
So at what point did you all decide, like, this was something that you all want to come together to create, that you said this is the story that you want to bring to life? What drew you to this particular story?
I think we both had a really similar reaction the first time we read the books. I think like halfway into the first book, we were like, oh my God, I fell in love with these characters that despite the fact that they're supernatural, actually have three-dimensional human qualities and emotional connections with each other. That was what made me fall in love with Lansing from the beginning.
Completely. And I mean, and I also spent a lot of time in a small town in southern Spain, but that does look like Texas. They used to shoot all the westerns there. But it's like a single stoplight. When someone drove up, everyone would peek out their window like, who is this stranger? I don't know you. What do you do? And there's there's something funny about small towns where you accept each other's weirdness because you know each other well. So, I mean, I love the small town. And my mother-in-law, who passed away 2 years, was a psychic. And so when I read Manfred, the first two, I read 2 chapters, I'm like, I think I'm getting a sign that I should do this. So for me, there's a little personal draw for that. Thank you so much. Really appreciate it. Thank you.